Mona, I am begging you. If you know anything about what's happening to us, can you just tell me, please?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the loose ends and mysteries left behind in the teen drama's 7-season run. We won't be including any unanswered questions from Ravenswood, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, or Pretty Little Liars' Original Sin. Since these entries mention major plot points throughout the series, a spoiler warning is now in effect.
Why would you do this for her?
Enough questions.
Number 10. Emily and Allison's twins. A/AD is known for subjecting their victims to over-the-top methods of torment, but we'd say stealing Emily's eggs and implanting them in an unwitting Allison is definitely up there with the most violating acts.
Congratulations, your mother. The blood tests. It's you and me.
In the Pretty Little Liars series finale, we see the couple living happily with their twin daughters Lily and Grace. Later in the episode, Alex Drake, posing as Spencer, reveals that Ren Kingston fathered the babies.
You have your daddy's eyes. Yeah, I knew Ren would make pretty babies.
However, there's no indication that Emerson or anyone are aware of this revelation. Surely they've wondered who it was, since it was confirmed that it wasn't Archer Dunhill. Is Alex the only living person who knows the identity of the father?
She can't keep us here forever.
Of course she can. She's Mona.
Guess we'll never find out. Number 9. Mrs. Potter's death.
I'm trying to refinance, but the house isn't worth as much as it was when I bought up my ex. I just need another extension.
I'm sorry, but your request is denied.
In this overlooked plot point in season 1, Hannah Marin's mom Ashley finds herself strapped for cash. She steals thousands of dollars from Esther Potter, a bank customer who has a yearly deposit schedule. The money may have helped their finances, but it's a huge source of stress, especially when Mrs. Potter makes another appointment. However, Ashley and Hannah are saved due to her sudden passing.
They couldn't revive her. Poor thing, I mean, she wasn't young, but still.
While a heart attack is cited as the cause of death, 2 episodes later we see A putting flowers on Mrs. Potter's grave, suggesting they had something to do with it. At the time, Hannah's best friend Mona was A, but did her love for Hannah and Ashley really drive her to murder? Unsurprisingly, it's never brought up again.
So she spoke to you about keeping money in here?
No, we never talked about it.
Number 8. The Ghost Girl.
She was so cold. I can still feel how cold she was.
Before we knew about Jessica De Laurentiis' twin sister Mary, or Spencer's twin sister Alex, the idea of twins was already a major motif throughout Pretty Little Liars. In the series' first Halloween episode in season 2, Allison tells a story about twin sisters fighting over dolls, resulting in one murdering the other. Season 3's Halloween episode sees one of the twins appearing to Ashley asking to use the phone.
My mother said if I ever get scared or lost or tired, I should call her.
Of course you can call.
They have a literally chilling exchange, and Ashley realizes the girl's skin is abnormally cold. The girl disappears, leaving Ashley confused and a little spooked, especially since she's the only one who saw her. We know PLL liked to toy with the paranormal on occasion, but seriously, what was this ghost girl all about?
Scary things can sometimes just be fun.
I don't think so. Not anymore.
Number 7. Detective Wilden's age.
You know Darren Wilden, right? He was a couple years ahead of you in school. He might be the hottie that Allison was talking about in that notebook.
Rosewood's Detective Darren Wilden was the head of the Allison De Laurentiis disappearance-turned-murder investigation, but we eventually find out that he already knew she was accidentally killed by Charlotte, aka CeCe Drake, because Jessica paid him to lie.
I was never in Rosewood tonight, ma'am. And neither was your daughter.
This makes his intense interrogations with the girls unnecessary and downright obsessive. Wilden's reputation as a dirty cop goes back years, to the death of Radley patient Marion Kavanaugh, which he also covered up at the behest of Jessica to protect a 12-year-old Charlotte. But with him being around Melissa Hastings' age, only a few years older than Charlotte/CeCe, that would make him at least a teenager. Needless to say, he wouldn't have been a police officer yet. So how does this timeline work?
Like Spencer said, we've told you everything we know.
Number 6. CeCe's visitor's pass at Radley. PLL fans can all agree that Charlotte De Laurentiis' storyline was littered with plot holes. But one question that frequently pops up is why Dr. Wren Kingston authorized a visitor's pass for Charlotte's alias, CeCe Drake, to see Radley patient Mona Vanderwall.
Tell me more about the girls. I need to know everything.
Charlotte was also a patient, and she'd already been talking to Mona because she took over the A game. Very little about her Radley stay makes sense, especially when you remember the time she tricked Jessica into thinking Allison was there.
She's dressed head to toe in your clothing, but it's not my daughter sitting in Radley. It's CeCe Drake.
I can't believe that crazy bitch actually did it.
We know Charlotte had in and out privileges at different times, but how was she able to have roommates at UPenn or go on a vacation to Cape May? Make it make sense.
I don't have time to talk about this. You're not the only one that's scared, okay?
Number 5. Noel Kahn's motives. Noel Kahn was introduced as the bad boy of Rosewood High. He briefly dated Aria before entering his villain era, getting together with Mona, and eventually cozying up to Jenna Marshall. Noel returns during season 4, helping Allison stay hidden, and stays throughout season 5.
You're not the only one who needs insurance, Noel. We need it too, okay? And I promise you, I will keep it in a much safer place than this. Okay? Now go.
We don't see him again until season 7 when he's inexplicably on the A-team and revealed to have tortured the girls in the dollhouse and Hannah at the farm. Noel's final appearance sees him try to kill the liars with Jenna, after he previously killed Sara Harvey.
Taught Jenna a lot. One thing she taught Charlotte and me. Was how to smell fear.
How and why did this guy with a grudge become a double agent and sadistic murderer? Hating Allison for blackmailing him about a frat party incident? Sure. But what about everyone else?
Bitches never understood me. I always get what I want.
Number 4. Sarah's connection to Charlotte. Speaking of characters with baffling motives, let's talk about Sara Harvey.
I have like 1,000 questions.
We know that she disappeared the same weekend Allie went missing, allegedly kidnapped by Charlotte and made to impersonate Allison in the dollhouse. Later, she had Sara dress up as the Black Widow at Wilden's funeral and as Red Coat outside the Thornhill Lodge.
Sara Harvey was the other redcoat?
When I needed her to be.
What?
But if Charlotte didn't take over the game until after Mona was sent to Radley, why would she have taken Sara years before? Assuming she was actually kidnapped, it's never explained why Sara continues to work for the A-team after being rescued. Could it have really been Stockholm Syndrome after years in A's dollhouse? Or was Sara just a runaway who met Charlotte and went along with her elaborate plan?
I felt like we were sisters. She used you to replace me. When no one else was there for her, I was.
Number 3. Bethany wearing Allison's bracelet. On the night Allison De Laurentiis went missing, Radley patient Bethany Young left the hospital wearing her frenemy Charlotte's clothes.
Bethany had blonde hair and she was dressed just like Allison.
Jessica would buy Allison and Charlotte the same outfits, meaning Bethany and Allie wore identical yellow tops on that night. Allison was struck in the back of the head and buried alive. Later, Bethany met the same fate, only she didn't survive. When her body is eventually unearthed, she's wearing Allison's purple bracelet.
If that's Allison's bracelet, what about the one we found in the woods?
I don't know. Someone made a copy of Allison's bracelet.
Yeah, and made sure that we would find it.
Since Allie bought the name bracelets for her friends, Jessica wouldn't have gifted one to Charlotte. How Charlotte had a duplicate bracelet is never explored. This is just one of the many questions surrounding Bethany.
Bethany, what did you do? What did I do?
Number 2. Mona's Radley riddle. In season 3, Hannah and Aria sneak into Radley to visit Mona, but she's not much help because she's speaking in riddles.
What is she doing?
Miss Aria, you're a killer, not Ezra's wife. Miss Aria, you're a killer, not Ezra's wife.
Cut it out, Mona.
Her first cryptic message is unsettling, but contains a code with the first letter of each word spelling out Maya knew. Mona's next lyrical puzzle gave them the address to Maya's blog, which didn't lead to any big revelations.
Did Mona mean she's not safe? Or we're not?
What did Maya know? Did she find out the identity of A, or that Allison was still alive? Or was it that her stalker Lyndon James was going to kill her? Because the latter brings up more questions. Why would Mona care about Maya's killer? Why would she need to speak in code to fool A? It's a mystery.
I don't suppose Crazy slipped you the password as well.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. AD's message for Jenna. That binder was filled with pages of Braille, and we know it said more than the show gave us.
Endgame.
Rosewood's prom queen, CeCe Drake. How did she get that crown? She doesn't even go there.
No. But I bet I'll be the prettiest girl in the yearbook.
Ren coloring a sketch. Did he know the identity of Red Coat?
Well, it just goes to show, you can't trust anyone.
AD's vendetta against Hannah. Everyone received their fair share of torment, but Hannah was kidnapped and tortured.
I'm dying here.
Wine moms in the basement. How they got out may have been answered, but who locked them in the De Laurentiis' basement?
Open the door! Hey! Open the door!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Aria's connection to Radley and Eddie Lamb. When Aria volunteers at Radley hoping to find more information on Bethany Young, it leads to a curious exchange with an orderly named Eddie Lamb.
Did you volunteer for the reading program last year?
Nope. No, this is my first time here.
I feel like we've met before.
I don't think so.
The Aria is A/AD theorists saw this odd interaction as evidence that she was another child of Mary Drake, had a secret twin, or had suppressed memories of being a Radley patient with a dissociative identity disorder. Then again, maybe Eddie just recognized her from visiting Spencer or Mona while they were patients. But that's the last we see of Eddie since he missed a meetup with Ezra later that night.
I waited for over an hour, and he never showed up.
Interestingly, a retconned version of the original character played by an older actor makes an appearance in 2022's inaugural season of Pretty Little Liars' Original Sin.
They offered me a job to help with the transition. I had a mortgage, needed the money.
Did your questions ever get answered? Share your theories in the comments below.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.